magic carpet to fly you around wherever you needed to go. Well, something close is coming your way. Flying cars will be appearing in the near future. By telling you all about this rotable aircraft, the term coming from the Terrafugo Corporation invented the transition shown here, is to let you know that you can anticipate the once futuristic ideas which will be appearing in our lifetime. My support material includes worldly articles on science, technology, and invention, interviews with 60 Minutes and CNN with the creators of flying cars, informative videos from the History Channel and the Discovery Channel, and the history timeline of flying cars by How Stuff Works. To help explain my topic, I'll provide a better understanding of how these vehicles were created and how they'll impact our future. Flying cars have been a work in progress. As soon as the car and airplane were invented, the idea to merge both was immediately born, and over the years of trial and error, people have finally figured it out. How Stuff Works did a segment illustrating the designs of flying cars and showed how, in the beginning, the designs lacked too much of the vehicle mode to provide a flyable aircraft. By this, I mean their practical size kept them from driving on the highway. Then the designs took out too much of the aircraft mode, making them unable to reach acceptable height levels or stay in the air long enough. The Rotable Times provides a list of some of those well-known flying cars invented. Glenn Curtiss is known as the father of flying cars because in 1917, his invention gave way to the very first idea of such a vehicle. His autoplane sported 3 massive wings, however never truly flew, but it did manage a few short hops. Developed by Walter Waterman in 1937, the Aerobull was similar to the autoplane and that the propeller was attached to the rear of the vehicle. The new idea, however, was that the wings were detachable. It also never flew because the lack of funding killed the project. Robert Fulton developed the amphibian in 1946. Instead of adapting a car for flying, Fulton made a plane for the road. The amphibian could the wings and tail section could be manually removed and took only 5 minutes to convert from plane to car. Despite its success, because it did fly, a lack of funding killed the project. Moulton Moult Taylor created perhaps one of the most well-known flying cars to date in 1949. His Aero car was able to drive, fly, and drive again without interruption. It was the first vehicle to be certified by the Federal Aviation Administration, and in 1970, Ford Motor Company even considered marketing the vehicle. However, that decade's oil crisis crashed those plans. Only 5 Aero cars were ever made, 4 found in museums, and 1, which still works, is owned by Ed Sweeney from Auburn, Alabama. And the breakthrough. There are a handful of flying cars that did become successful. However, the most popular in America is certainly the Skycar M400. After more than 50 years in the making, Paul Muller of Davis, California, and his team, Muller International, have spent approximately $36 million on his creation. Because the Skycar is currently working on being produced with the U.S. Army, and because it will be the first flying car you'll see in our country, I chose to explain in detail how this particular flying car works. The Skycar was the first to incorporate Wankel rotary engines instead of jet engines. It combines a triangular rotor inside an oval chamber, which creates compression and expansion as it turns. The design is 1/4 the size and weight of a regular car engine, but with twice the power. Also, rotor blades will be replaced with much smaller fans for safety, while giving the ability to fly in much more confined spaces compared to airplanes. Bruce Holmes, one of NASA's chiefs, the creator of the Sky Highway, describes the M400 as, quote, a cross between a Ferrari and a Batmobile. From CBSStories.com, Rebecca Long of 60 Minutes talked with Muller International as they explained some of the Skycar's safety features, which include airbags that will wrap around the entire inside and outside of the vehicle to soften the impact if it ever does crash, a parachute which will dispense at any type of emergency shutdown, all with the ability to fold down its wings by itself and fit in a 2-car garage. Not only will the Skycar be voice controlled, but the interior and exterior colors will be changeable, all trying to fit a more personalized look for consumer interest. Many of you may not have known there's even this much history about flying cars. Although they've been a fantasy for the last century, they are now in the process of becoming a reality. The idea of flying cars as a primary means of transportation can be exciting or nerve-wracking, depending on how you look at it. But with proper safeguards put in place, these vehicles could potentially be the answer to all of our present transportation issues and concerns. NASA has invented a sky highway system, which can be installed in all flying vehicles and navigated by satellites to manage all sky traffic and making the flying part easy. Bruce Holmes, one of NASA's chief strategists, talked with 2020 interviewer Bob Simon as he explained how his $130 million creation, called the Highway in the Sky, will take satellites and global positioning systems to track all flying vehicles in the air and basically keep them from crashing into each other. The driver simply gives their destination into the computer called the flight simulator, which guides them through the air while avoiding any obstacles. Because it's voice controlled and the computer is the one doing the talking, the pilot's license will not be needed for the sky cars. Just because this invention is here now doesn't mean it'll be a perfect match with our society right now. There are several factors being weighed on how our civilization will handle this innovation. There are some cons to the idea of life with flying cars. Because accidents are inevitable and we're fighting gravity with these machines, the danger factor becomes much higher. And when Paul Mueller was asked about how insurance would work with the sky cars, he didn't really have much of an answer, except, quote, "We're still working with the insurance industry regarding the issue." Basically, we have no idea how much it'll cost with insurance to just own a sky car, but it's pretty apparent the rates will skyrocket. Also, those Wankel engines are not cheap, and there's 8 in each car. Mueller International claims that as they become mass-produced, the prices will drop to that of a luxury car. However, that's $60,000 to $100,000. That being said, this might only become a popular vehicle for the upper class. To lead your driver to the sky will take under a minute. However, the engine's noise level for that action will reach between 85 to 90 decibels. That's equivalent to standing front row at a rock concert. That might be something your neighbors could complain about as you head to work each morning. There are a bunch of ideas in the works on how to help with controlling the noise level. However, there's no way to quiet those engines. This invention is extremely exciting to think about at first. Then, one must consider how humankind will be impacted, both positively and negatively. This could change a lot in our world, so there's a lot to consider. Flying cars always seem to be a futuristic idea that would never happen in our lifetime. However, with the advances in technology, they may be appearing sooner than we were expecting. It may take till we're all 70 years old, but one day we will see cars floating through the air like Aladdin's magic carpet.